What if the wealthy elite, from the very beginning of this republic, plotted to twist our freedom into chains, using corporations as their weapon to usurp the sovereignty of the people? Today, as corporations dominate our lives, from big tech censoring speech to banks controlling economies, it's time to expose this scheme. Right after the revolution, sovereignty had transferred from the British king to the common people, making them joint tenants in the sovereignty. The people were supposed to rule themselves, but without the oversight of monarchs or the Pope, the wealthy had already planned to manipulate this new system. They knew, give the masses the illusion of power, then quietly build structures to siphon it away. Post-revolution, the elite began chartering municipal corporations through the state as incorporated towns and cities, claiming they were tools for economic growth. These weren't just governments, they were legal entities blending public authority with private interests. By the early 1800s, legislatures granted charters to create these public corporations, but the elite influenced them to favor property owners. Here's how it worked. Wealthy elites formed these municipal corporations to manage infrastructure like roads and ports, but in reality, it allowed private control of public property. Ordinary folks were subscribed into these entities, reduced to persons under corporate bylaws, now subject to local ordinances treating them as property of the municipality. But this was just the setup. The real masterstroke came after the Civil War in 1868 with the 14th Amendment. On the surface, it was about freeing slaves and granting equal protection, but it was actually an unlawful power grab disguised as justice. Why? It created a new class of statutory federal citizens, not the constitutional state citizens of old, but subjects under federal oversight. The elite's plan? Centralized control. In 1871 came the Organic Act, converting the seat of the federal government into a municipal corporation and, by extension, made all federal citizens into enfranchisements of that corporation. Through the 14th Amendment, the people were reduced to legal fictions, allowing corporations to attain parity with them. This wasn't accident, it was the plan. In 1886, the Supreme Court in Santa Clara County v. Southern Pacific Railroad quietly declared corporations to be persons under the 14th Amendment. The stage was set for the elite, through the vehicle of their public and private corporations, to take total control of all people and resources. The elite amassed fortunes through monopolies, bribing politicians and crushing competition. Their corporate shield protects them from personal liability and keeps them from being held accountable. Today, corporations administer the world through a series of national trusts, all managed by companies like BlackRock. This was the intention all along. Give sovereignty to the people, then erode it through corporations, local at first, then national. With the 14th Amendment's federal citizens, the Organic Act's corporate model, corporate personhood, and military enforcement via the Insurrection Act, power has centralized in the hands of the corporate elite. Learn more by searching Burn the Corporate Fiction on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and X.